Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Hub. Is this a digital reset or the long-awaited currency revaluation? It appears the moment may have arrived. In a stunning shift across the global financial infrastructure, multiple systems have quietly entered what appears to be a coordinated override. While early explanations pointed to routine maintenance, mounting technical anomalies reveal a larger, synchronized financial overhaul. Digital pipelines within top-tier institutions are emitting unusual patterns, evidence of currency framework syncs, ledger resets, and focused realignment activity. For those holding currencies like the NA, Iraqi Dinar, IQD, Vietnamese Dong VND, and Zimbabwean dollar ZWL, this could be the trigger moment. Internal movements from HSBC, Wells Fargo, and Federal Reserve terminals suggest something more than recalibration, something active. In parallel, blockchain-enabled forex networks are showing pairing changes specifically for legacy and resource-tied currencies. This isn't idle activity. The reset dashboard isn't blinking, it's clearly engaged. And the silence surrounding it? That's the loudest part. Usually when banks perform system upgrades, notices are issued and public alerts follow. But this is different. What's happening now resembles a deep systemic update rebuilding the engine while the car is still running. Undervalued currencies like the IQD and VND appear to be the main focus. Global clearing houses in Frankfurt, Basel, regulators, and financial nodes in Asia are all showing signs of participating in this sync-up. ISO 2022-based systems are seeing a massive spike in data flow, while Ripple and Swift both confirm private sync attempts. While mainstream media remains quiet, internal bank systems and forks trackers are firing off alerts. Quiet alerts have gone out across private trading desks, indicating incoming adjustments to low liquidity currencies. Analysts at groups like ECPO and Elmaki have detected sharp metadata anomalies, evidence of staging environments going live. These aren't just rumors. These are clear signals of groundwork being laid for a real-world transition, one with tangible impacts on value. Liquidity. The argument over an IQD and VND revaluation has been debated for years across forums, interviews, and institutional reviews. But today, multiple independent confirmations suggest we are in a different stage entirely. Dr. Adam Reynolds, former IMF strategist, has stated that the rapid fork system upgrades mirror past events before a major rate shift. Central bank servers from Baghdad to Hanoi are processing unusual traffic. In Hong Kong and Zurich, elite clients are being warned of potential access delays. The State Bank of Vietnam has even paused certain high-value transfers, a signal that typically precedes a market realignment. Iraq's IMF-compliant banking upgrades and Vietnam's forex digitalization both suggest readiness. What began as quiet back-end maintenance now appears to be an orchestrated push to relink undervalued currencies to new, possibly asset-backed, global valuation models. Global markets, especially across Asia and the Middle East, are reflecting this shift in tempo. Iraq's central bank is already interlinking its secure nodes with global networks, using bypass protocols and encrypted gateways, a step not taken lightly. In Vietnam, the volume of USD-VND pairing requests has spiked. Zimbabwe's central bank has started currency audit cycles twice as fast as normal. The thread tying IQD, VND, and ZWL together is their rumored link to the GCR protocol, a mechanism allowing undervalued national currencies to recalibrate based on tangible PASHI, national assets, in both North America and Europe. Financial risk models are being updated to account for rate fluctuation scenarios. These are not volatility spikes caused by news. They are predictive models preloaded with assumed valuation shifts. For Zimbabwe, a currency once written off by most, the 2025 economic playbook has changed drastically. With lithium and gold reserves now central to its new financial model, Zimbabwe is re-entering the conversation with real weight. African banking bodies like Afreximbank and the African Development Bank already mobilizing for this. Internal memos hint at ZWL onboarding within IMF channels alongside IQD and VND. Pilot programs linked to the ZWL digital token are entering final review. If the IMF completes this inclusion in Q3, Zimbabwe's currency could gain new legitimacy in the global market, its first real appearance in over a decade. This is not a fringe scenario, it's a calculated step toward monetary reintegration. Banks in North America are quietly confirming what's happening behind the scenes. Internal communications from JP Morgan and Bank of America mention currency reflogging protocols, while back-end systems are simulating high-value conversions. One former Citibank tech lead disclosed that IQD and VND are being processed at hidden exchange rates above public value, typically a prelude to go-live events. Additionally, bank tracking software is lagging when scanning these currencies. That kind of latency is not random. It's a known side effect of rerouting currencies through closed-loop internal testing platforms. These dry-run conversions are not accidental. They are preparation drills for real-world execution. Taken together, this paints a picture of systemic readiness, not hearsay. For those who've watched this space for years, this marks the transition from theory to roll out, the final stretch before potential public acknowledgement. What about institutional investors? They're already acting. Hedge funds and private equity groups in New York, Singapore, and Dubai are reallocating small percentages of their portfolios into IQD and VND. While minimal in volume, these positions speak volumes in intent. One UK-based arbitrage analyst noted that funds are now treating IQD as a hedge tool, layering futures alongside bonds. In the UAE, VND positions are being recommended for short-term movement potential. Advisors also say ZWL is being quietly watched as a longer-term strategic hold, depending on Bestamar. Gold standard developments. These aren't retail moves, they're calculated institutional positions made based on pattern recognition and data, not hype. With mainstream outlets staying silent, only insiders and dedicated observers can see the tide turning. The fact that large capital is moving ahead of public news is the clearest indicator that the systems are primed around the globe. Sentiment is shifting. This is no longer fringe chatter, it's being treated as actionable. Forums and encrypted chat groups, Telegram, Discord, X, formerly Twitter, are lighting up with screenshots, memos, and back-end indicators. Dinar holders in the US report long fund delays when polling major banks. In Vietnam, high-frequency traders have paused VND activity. Zimbabwean banks are issuing audit checks that suggest prep for a formal reclassification. The tone has shifted, less about dreams and more about discipline. Informed holders are moving from waiting to planning. The July to September quarter is widely seen as critical. Why? Because Iraq has finalized its IMF benchmarks, launched biometric account systems, and activated its national wallet, a trifecta of readiness. Vietnam has balanced its reserves and passed World Bank capital standards. Zimbabwe is nearing the final stages of its gold-backed token integration. That's not all. The IMF Summer Summit, centered on asset-backed monetary policy, will feature at least 3 countries unveiling updated forex frameworks. Many suspect Iraq, Vietnam, and Zimbabwe will be among them. This convergence of readiness, global policy interest, and technical alignment is too precise to ignore. Currency holders are being advised to get in position now before announcements become headlines. This is about more than timing. It's about readiness. So how can holders prepare? Step 1. Establish a relationship with a bank that processes exotic currencies. Not all due. But HSBC, Chase, PNC, and Wells Fargo are known to have back-end readiness, even if they say little publicly. Know their internal policies. Find out how they handle redemptions. Step 2. Audit your holdings. Document every note by amount, series, and where and when it was acquired. This documentation may become critical during structured exchanges. Step 3. Build a support team. A financial advisor, legal expert, and tax planner should all be on call. NDA, rate tiers, and audit trails will complicate redemptions. Don't try to go it alone. Secure storage for your physical currency is also vital, preferably fireproof and in your direct access. Treat your holdings as you would an asset portfolio, not idle cash. The era of holding and hoping is over. This next phase is about execution, not emotion. Monetary experts are increasingly breaking their silence. Dr. Eliza Torvik, ex-World Bank analyst, said at a Zurich panel, "This technical alignment matches historical pre-revaluation movements exactly." Malcolm Reed, former US Treasury Forex strategist, added that Iraq, Vietnam, and Zimbabwe are no longer reactive, they're preemptive, signaling a value reset. The ECPO also confirmed that both the IQD and VND have been recategorized in regional currency systems. This move usually precedes classification changes. Even AI-based trading systems are assigning volatility weight to IQD and VND, a key step in market modeling that usually comes before sharp valuation changes. These aren't one-off events. They are harmonized data signals across multiple layers of the global economy. The message? This isn't theory. It's execution, a real-time, high-level, systematic reworking of economic valuations. And it may be closer than anyone expected. Still, caution is critical. High expectation environments attract predatory actors. Phishing scams, fake exchange offers, and counterfeit bank notices have surged. Never share private data online or trust unofficial portals. Real institutions don't charge upfront or request sensitive info via email. Equally risky is emotional investing. Don't overbuy, don't chase rates, and don't gamble based on rumor. Even solid indicators need validation. Smart investors stay measured, confirm every detail, log every transaction, maintain backups, and keep your inner circle tight. Avoid third parties promising insider deals. Remember, real exchanges will come through verified channels only. The wealth shift may be historic, but only the disciplined will retain its benefits. Panic and greed are threats. Patience and structure are assets. The window is open, but it's narrow, and only those prepared will pass through it cleanly. What we're witnessing could redefine modern monetary policy. This isn't just system maintenance, it's a shift in how value is measured globally. Iraq, Vietnam, and Zimbabwe, once on the economic fringe, are entering a new phase of influence. With restructured banks, asset ties, and sovereign currency tools, they're becoming legitimate players. IQD, VND, and ZWL may soon sit at the center of a new financial map. But foresight must now become action, because this time, history might not whisper. It may announce its next chapter with unmistakable clarity. The global system isn't just updating, it's being rewritten. And, if you're positioned correctly, the coming days could convert your patience into life-changing opportunity. The waiting game? It's almost over. But what comes next depends entirely on how ready you are to act precisely, calmly, and with clarity. This is your moment. Don't miss it. The content presented in this video is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. The views expressed are based on publicly available information, independent research, and personal opinions, and should not be interpreted as guarantees or predictions of future outcomes. Always conduct your own due diligence and consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions, especially those involving foreign or exotic currencies like the Iraqi Dinar, IQD, Vietnamese Dong VND, or Zimbabwean dollar ZWL. Iraqi Dinar Hub does not endorse any investment products, platforms, or exchange offers. Viewer discretion.